Want to make a podcast? Spotify's got a platform that's going to let you make one super easily. And then you can distribute it everywhere and even earn money doing this. All in one place. And it's free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters. Here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and even edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else podcasts are heard.
Ever since we discovered Spotify for Podcasters, it's been really great. Really get the people involved and ask questions and get ideas for new podcasts. So it's really helped us. And I highly recommend you give it a try. So download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started.
If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you, sir?
Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got. If you don't like what we tell you to believe in, we'll kill you.
All right, kids. Listen.
Don't
Podcast,
listen to this.
if you're not of age.
What's of age?
Of age is like you can make your own decisions in life without parental guidance. 18
16?
18. We're not in Atlanta.
Georgia is 16.
We're not in Atlanta. That's what I said. We're not in Atlanta. This is 18 and up. Look,
Atlanta.
we're a bunch of dudes, and we're going to say some really bad words, and probably some things that might offend you. But
Don't listen to this.
can't wait till you listen.
Yeah, don't.
If
do
you're
it.
18 and up.
Don't do it.
If you're 18 and
Yeah.
up.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Conspiracy Podcast.
It's us again.
Let's go.
you, Sean, Jorge, Eric. Here we are.
Yes. And here you are.
How are you
listening to
today?
us.
And this is going to be a good one,
Well,
guys.
tonight.
How are you today? So tonight's episode is Tupac Shakur.
Tupac. Amaru Shakur. I don't know.
I mean, we're all. I mean, this is our. This
he's
is
still-
our. I was.
he's still on
So
the
when he
playlist,
was
bro.
hot. When he was hot, I was 14.
Killing the game.
So I wasn't his age, but
No.
I was. You know
But
what I mean?
you were-
Like,
yeah,
same
but he
same
was-
difference for you
You're
guys.
still,
Definitely
still
relevant.
bumping rap
Yeah.
music, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You still listen to him?
Run
honestly?
with
Oh, I still
me.
listen to him.
You do?
Hail
And
Mary.
back then, I was, listening to him.
What's your favorite song?
Oh, God. That's impossible.
Yeah, that is
Don't-
kind of
don't ask
impossible, but like,
I
don't
like
know.
Dear Mama just because
Dear Mama, it's so
it's
good.
so
I like
good.
that
And
one,
I,
yeah. But,
California Loves
and
Good.
I almost played
Oh.
that for my mom at our wedding, but I was
really?
like, I'm not gonna say my mom's a crack fiend. So,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna take that.
Mama was a crack fiend.
I like All Eyes on Me.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a
so
good one.
good.
Life
So
of a
good.
thug nigga to the dead. All eyes on me.
So this is not really the life of Tupac Shakur, but
No.
it's more the murder of
The death.
Tupac.
The death of
Yep.
Yeah, the
Tupac
murder of
Shakur.
Tupac Shakur, and there's so many conspiracies about this. There
There still is.
there
going
still
around.
is, and it keeps going and
And this was a
going and
while
going.
ago.
Yeah, and so we were like, all right, let's dive in. Let's see.
Deep dive.
Now, what I did find interesting in doing all of this was that Tupac is always put together with Biggie.
Always.
You know what I mean? So
They were
it's-
the two titans of the time.
yeah,
so.
and he died 6 months later.
I know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So,
But
but I didn't want to just do it. It's the Biggie Tupac episode. I wanted to do Tupac.
yeah. And then we'll
You know
do
what I mean?
another one maybe
And
for
then,
Biggie, right?
and then we can dive into Biggie later. But
Yeah.
for the most part, this is going to be Tupac. So Tupac.
Wait, before we go on, I
yeah.
want to know, like, is Tupac the GOAT for you?
I mean, I think he was the GOAT of that time. I wouldn't say he's
Not
the.
now.
I don't want to say
But-
he's the.
No, the
old-
GOAT is greatest of all time.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Wouldn't call him the GOAT of all time. He was the GOAT. He was the greatest of that time.
So he was the GOAT when
he
he was alive. He was the GOAT.
So he's
not the GOAT.
He's
now.
like Kareem.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good analogy. That's a good analogy.
He's Kareem was at that time.
Cream was the GOAT
the
until
problem
Jordan arrived. And like,
So, but
The
Who's
problem with
Jordan?
Eric saying that is that he's saying that LeBron is the GOAT now.
no.
That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying when you say that.
Jordan's the GOAT, bro. Jordan was after Kareem.
Of all time, right?
Yeah, GOAT.
But he's saying,
But between you and me, I put
Anyways.
LeBron at 11.
11.
I would put LeBron at like 3 or 2 or 3.
I'm at
2 or
11.
3, yes.
I'm at 11.
Yeah,
No,
your
hell
top
no.
list is like Steve Nash, Larry
Tupac is my GOAT.
But who's
for
your
sure.
number one? Who is his number one? Though? If
Are you talking about basketball now? Or
no,
back
no,
to
we're
rap?
talking about rap.
talking
Yeah.
about rap.
So who's the GOAT?
Because if Tupac was of the time, then who's his GOAT of all time?
see
Is
that
it Eminem?
You can't have a GOAT of all time. It's the fucking GOAT.
That
That's
is
what
the
it
GOAT.
is.
Yeah, the actual GOAT. Like I would say, Tupac's
He's a top 3.
he's easily top 3.
Top 3.
But I
For sure.
I just can't. I don't know if I can put.
Put him 1.
I know, as weird to say, like I honestly do believe that Eminem's the GOAT.
When it comes to
Eminem's number 1.
like
But when it comes
lyricists,
to actual
right?
lyrics
This is
and
what they
like,
call it.
Yeah.
and that's why I like rap. For
Yeah.
lyrics, don't get me wrong. I'll listen to some fucking trap shit where the words don't matter. It's just the beat, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
But
As long
like,
as you don't say
when it-
Drake is
when-
your GOAT.
No, God, this isn't an art. Who's the best R&B artist? Oh my God,
Yeah.
Drake's like, hey, if you're listening, Drake, I still like your shit, but just like not your new shit.
We'll jam
Sucks.
out.
Your new shit's
But-
trash. Your old shit is dope.
So you're at Eminem 1.
Yeah,
And
I would
then
say
who's your,
Tupac's
who's
2.
your at number? Tupac's at 2.
Yeah.
Okay. And then where's Biggie?
Like 5.
5. Yeah, 5 or 6.
5 or 6,
even.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's great. Don't get me. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
but
it is
not
great.
like.
Yeah.
I thought Tupac was better.
You know, at this
personally.
time when I was doing the research, Nas was considered number 1.
Dude, Nas the best.
At this time,
so
you
At
mean
this
like
time,
present
in the
time or
90s,
like
in the 90s.
Dude, I would put. I would probably do. I would probably.
No, they were saying a lot of what was going on was Nas was number 1.
That's what I say. I would say Eminem, Tupac, Nas, J. Cole. Because J.
Ooh.
Cole,
Yeah,
dude,
he's-
J.
he's
Cole,
fucking-
dude, straight fire.
Where's
that's
Cube
true.
and Snoop?
No,
No way. Not
they're
even
down
close.
there. They're down.
They're like
Sorry,
70.
Sorry, guys.
No,
Sorry,
because
guys.
like NWA was great, but it's if you listen to it again, it's like not that great.
Right.
It's really.
Well, I mean, it's changed a lot,
It
obviously,
has.
right?
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
the styles of everything has changed so much.
Yeah.
But in the 90s, for sure, my opinion, Tupac was the
Tupac
GOAT.
was,
Tupac was
it was
number one.
untouchable in the
Right.
90s for sure.
Well, Tupac was born. Well, actually, he was born LaShawn Parrish Crooks.
Oh,
That's his real name.
I like LaShawn. What's
yeah,
wrong with
LaShawn.
that?
Hey, I never knew that.
His middle name's Amaru. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Tupac Amaru.
So he
Shakur.
literally made up a middle name too. Damn.
No, actually,
No.
his mom did.
Yeah.
His mom changed his name when he was 1.
Oh, I did
Yeah.
not know that.
Yeah. But he was born LaShawn Parrish Crooks, and he was born in 1971, June 16th. And yeah, so we're just kind of talking about how he's sold more than 75 million records
And dude,
worldwide.
in the 90s, you were like slaying.
He's
You
killing
sell
it.
that many, you're like
So killing it.
vaporizing.
Yeah.
That's when they had records.
Right.
You actually
Yes.
sold CDs
Yeah.
and shit.
So Shakur was born June 16th in East Harlem, which is the upper part of Manhattan in New York, which is funny because West Side, East Side.
Yeah.
He was born in the East.
Yep.
I always thought that was funny.
One other thing I
don't
want
know.
to add is like why the name Tupac. He was named after Peruvian revolutionary Tupac Amaru II
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
when he was a year old, like you just said.
Yeah.
But that has a lot to do with the whole revolutionary thing or whatever. It's because
Right.
his mom was Black Panther.
That's right. There you go. So Shakur's parents, Afeni Shakur, was born Alice Faye Williams in North Carolina, and his biological father, Billy Garland, and they were Black Panther Party members in the 60s and 70s.
Okay.
So the Peruvian guy that you're talking about,
Yeah.
he's the descendant of the last Incan ruler.
That's just weird because the Incas are South American.
Yeah. So a month before Tupac was born, his mother was tried in New York City as part of something called the Panther 21 criminal trial. Yeah, and it was a bunch of Black Panthers basically who were charged with a bunch of explosions and
shit.
and
wow.
Like actual terrorism.
different stores and that sort of thing. So it was charged as a conspiracy. So
like Rico.
it's like us
Yeah.
it's like us as a group charged with all the things that you did, all the things I did, all the things you did.
Yeah.
So
We're a group.
everybody's just
Everybody's just
for
charged.
everything.
Yeah. So 150 charges.
Jesus Christ.
She was acquitted.
Oh, good.
So
Nice.
she was acquitted of those charges. Just to give you an idea, Tupac's stepfather was also, he spent 4 years among the FBI's top 10 wanted fugitives.
Holy shit.
Black Panther Party.
Yeah, she had him while she was in jail.
Man.
Yeah.
He was birthed in jail.
Physically?
Yeah.
I'm sure it was at the hospital, but
Yeah.
she was
Well,
incarcerated.
yeah, probably like the
Yeah.
Yeah.
not the nursery. What the fuck is it called? Like the fucking
the what do they call that?
the medical fucking
Infirmary.
Med ward.
The infirmary.
Yeah,
There you go.
I think that's what I was
infirmary,
thinking.
Yeah. We hella smart. We hella smart.
Hella smart.
Yeah.
Our new hit single, "Hella Smart," coming out this summer.
But so Tupac's stepfather Mutulu was apprehended in '86 and convicted for a robbery of those armored trucks,
Oh shit!
Oh wow.
where a couple officers were killed. And
So this is like
car
the
was
town,
killed.
but in Harlem.
It's like a real thug.
Yeah.
Thug life.
Tupac's,
that's where thug life
That's where the
started.
tattoo came from.
yeah, so Tupac's godfather was named Elmer Geronimo Pratt.
What the?
The coolest name I've ever heard.
Elmer
Geronimo Pratt. Yeah.
I mean, this guy sounds a comic book
And he was
character.
part of the Black Panthers, and he was convicted of murdering a school teacher during a 1968 robbery.
Wow.
Jeez.
This is really stand-up guys in his life.
But
Needless to say,
but after spending 27 years in prison,
they had
his
like DNA evidence.
conviction was overturned because the prosecution concealed evidence that proved his innocence.
Holy
he
shit.
get
That
it?
was after 27 years.
27 years,
Can you
he was
imagine
like,
that?
go.
I would be
Fuck
like,
that.
just kill me.
Yeah.
Like it's useless.
27
But I
years
guess-
of your life.
I
Just
guess where we're
fucking-
going with this is that
One in his life is a criminal.
or
Or
part
not.
of the
Yes.
Black
No, they
Panthers
are.
and part of this guy was acquitted.
That's true.
His mom was acquitted. So it's kind of like, I guess I don't want to say
Kinda like a
hate against
conspiracy.
like
I can see how that would
Yeah.
that for him that
You're-
would
you're
that would
being raised in
instill
this.
like
Yeah.
fuck the police.
Yes.
They're after
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Yes.
They're gonna
yes.
try to pin shit
Yes.
on you.
Yeah.
Even
Yes.
though you are doing illegal
Yes.
shit.
That's right.
It doesn't matter because they're after you.
That's right.
Well,
even though you're breaking the law.
That for sure is the start, but we'll get into it also. But like the way he grew up according to his songs, at least, right?
Right.
Like the cops are always after black people in his neighborhood, and
I mean, I think things were a little saucy there for sure.
Yeah.
We'll just
Yeah.
put it that
Yeah.
way.
yeah.
So in the 80s, Buck's mom found it difficult to find work, and she also had a drug addiction. So she was dealing with.
Yeah, even as a crack
crack
fiend,
fiend.
mama, you
Yeah.
always was a black queen.
Although it does go back to, was it difficult to find work because you were addicted to crack, or was it difficult?
or
was
is
are
is
you
it just difficult to
addicted
find
to
work?
crack?
Then you got addicted to
Yes,
crack.
yeah. It's one or the other.
But then like, you would think like if it was difficult to find work, why would you spend your money on crack then?
yeah,
So you gotta think it's the inverse of that.
Yes.
Because it's
Yeah.
fucking
Yes.
addicting. That's why. You
Yeah,
can't
but
help
maybe
it.
you could find a job if you weren't addicted to crack.
Yeah, maybe if you weren't spending crack, you could like
She's a crack fiend.
When a crack fiend, mama,
we're gonna hit that
never
line.
penitentiary.
We're gonna hit that line so many times.
So in 1984, his family moved from New York to Baltimore. He attended 8th grade at Roland Park Middle School, then 9th grade at Paul Lawrence Dunbar. He transferred to Baltimore School for the Arts in the 10th grade, which is sophomore year.
Yeah.
10th grade.
Yeah.
He studied acting, poetry, jazz, and ballet.
Oh wow, ballet.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
He performed in Shakespeare's plays.
Yep.
Yeah. Or the fake Shakespeare. Yeah. Episode
Yeah.
number
Yeah.
4.
Shake a
Episode
spit.
4.
What was his
Yeah, go
name?
check that out.
Lord
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
whatever his name was.
So then so at the Baltimore School for the Arts, he met a person and became really close with Jada Pinkett.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. They had the whole thing. Maybe that's why
right.
she's such a bitch to Will Smith.
Jeez.
Dude, are you kidding me? She's openly fucking another rapper.
It's fun.
Like openly,
nuts.
she's
So
openly
dark.
doing
And then-
it. It's
Yeah.
not okay.
Dude, have
Like-
you seen the Chris Rock special?
Oh, I know. I heard about
So
it though.
crazy.
I'm gonna watch it.
Because he's like,
I just saw that part where he goes into
no,
that.
he goes in, and I'm paraphrasing.
I know.
Yeah, he's like, "What kind of bitch? She cheats on you, and then puts you on live television and says,
then makes you
how do you
apologize.
feel about it?
That's just, and then they had that little interview. It was so weird.
So bad.
It's so weird.
I kind of agree. I kind of feel bad.
I feel super bad for him.
I don't really feel bad for Chris Rock.
No, I don't feel bad.
I mean, he just got smacked. I mean, big
No,
deal.
it's fine.
So at this school, anyways, they became friends, and they started doing poetry together and that sort of thing. And then he won a competition, which was the school's best rapper
Because he was the only one.
Because he was the GOAT.
Because he was the goat.
So in 1988, Shakur moved all the way to the west. And he moved to Marin City, California. Yeah, it's the Bay Area. It's Marin City, and it's kind of like it's nearby Mill Valley. It's not really San Francisco. It's kind of on the other side, that sort of thing. But
Did it say why?
I think for work, for the mom, stuff like that.
Some of the research I did, it was like he was getting in trouble a lot, and the people he was hanging out with and shit. And so the mom's like, kind of like the
Let's get you a new
kind of like the
environment.
Will Smith, song. No, but it was like that.
Maybe that was what it was based on. Yeah. That's pretty funny. I didn't know that.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is literally loosely based off Tupac Shakur's life.
I didn't know that. But just as a point of note, he never graduated high school. So he left. He did later get his GED.
It's like 20s.
Yeah, so like, take that for what it is.
Good job.
So Shakur then started recording under a stage name named MC New York.
That's a
Now it wasn't
super fucking
it
lame.
wasn't in
Yeah,
New
that is
York.
lame.
It wasn't in New York. It was in the Bay Area. So it was MC New York in the Bay Area.
No, I'm
Right.
Yeah, you're checking. Yeah, okay. That year, he began attending a poetry class. Layla Steinberg, she became his first manager. She organized a concert for Shakur, and he has a rap group called Strictly Dope.
You gotta love the 80s.
Yeah, and then that's when he met a group called Digital Underground.
Oh, yeah.
And
Right.
that was when he kind of got hooked up with Digital Underground. And in 91, that's when Tupac debuted for the first time under the name Tupac. And it was with Digital Underground.
He was MC New York.
That's right.
Okay.
So in 91, then he was with Digital Underground, and he was like, hey, I'm Tupac. That was his name.
Hey, I'm
Yep.
Tupac.
Under a new record label, which was Interscope.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so that's when Tupac joined Digital Underground.
That's right. And he was in that song, same song is what it's called.
Sing it.
All around the world, same song.
No,
No, those are two different songs. The Humpty Dance and the same song.
That's right.
So he was in the same song. I think that's probably his first big,
thing, yeah.
his
Like
first
where he
big
popped
rap.
out. Yeah,
that's where people
first
know.
music video.
There's a guy.
First music, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, he was a backup dancer for them.
Yeah.
Really?
That's right.
And then that's when they started going on tour.
He's
or
using that
whatever.
ballet skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was with Digital Underground, and then October 31st, which is Halloween, 1993.
Thank you, Eric, for that. Thank you for that. Which is Halloween disclaimer.
Just
I had no idea.
And when's the 4th of July?
So Tupac was arrested for the first time, or at least the first time on record, in Atlanta for shooting two off-duty police officers.
For shooting two off-duty
Damn.
What the fuck?
The police were brothers, and the Atlanta police claimed that the shooting occurred after the brothers were almost struck by a car that was carrying Tupac while they were crossing the street with their wives.
Oh,
so they were
God.
off-duty cops, basically. They argued with the driver. His car pulled up, and he shot one of them in the butt and the abdomen.
Damn.
Damn.
Anyway, so there's conflicting accounts. Tupac says that it was in self-defense. And the other guy said, well, Tupac shot me first. Tupac was charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault.
I
Wow.
believe in Tupac on this one.
Well, okay. Aggravated assault for shooting two cops?
Yeah.
That's
Also,
crazy.
but one of the cops
Yeah.
was charged with firing at Tupac's car
Oh.
and making false statements later.
What an idiot.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
So, So the cop admitted to possessing a gun that he had taken from the evidence room.
Oh my God.
Come on now.
Wow.
So prosecutors ultimately dropped the charges because of all that.
Because this guy
weirdness.
was shady as
Yeah.
fuck.
Yep.
Okay,
And
I happen to have some cash from the locker. Okay.
Yeah.
and some cocaine from the evidence room, but
And the cop resigned 6 months later, 6 or 7 months later.
It's like they're onto me. Shit. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah. But the cops filed civil suits against Tupac, and they were settled out of court. So
Yeah, I'll give you $50
Yes. But
Like, deal.
yeah,
No, I mean, at that time, he's making money,
sued,
I think,
the
right?
cops sued Tupac for $2 million.
Woo.
And it was settled after Tupac died by his estate.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's weird.
Yeah. So 1993, that's where we're at now. Tupac and Notorious B.I.G. meet for the first time. They meet on the set of the movie Poetic Justice. You remember that movie?
Yeah.
John Singleton movie with Janet Jackson, Regina King. Anyways, they clicked. Biggie said, we just clicked off the top and we were cool ever since. So Biggie and him actually were
They
friends.
were friends, yeah.
Yep.
They
Most
started as
people
friends, yeah.
don't necessarily know, but they were friends, right? So at that time, Biggie was not happy with his recording career. So he asked Tupac, he said, hey, can you be my manager?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And so Tupac said, Biggie looked like he was wearing the same pair of Timberlands for a year straight. And he advised Biggie to stay with Puff Daddy and said, the bad boy founder, Puff Daddy, will make you a star.
And he sure enough, he did.
Sure shit.
So there you go. So,
So he was a prophet, too. And a
But I
goat.
guess the point of that story though is that,
traveler.
the point of that story though is that they were friends originally.
Yeah.
And he said, "Hey, stay with Puff Daddy." Yeah. You know.
I mean, there's all.
And there's
The
a whole
whole thing,
reason why
yeah.
they East and
Yeah.
West started. But go ahead.
Probably Puff Daddy.
So in
Yeah, exactly.
94, Tupac released Thug Life Volume 1. And this is when he started to really get, this is 94 was like, yeah, this is-
94. So he already had done Juice.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
And,
a good
and,
movie.
and probably Above the Rim, too. Because that's also what kind of catapulted him.
I thought.
Actually, Above the Rim is coming up. Like
Okay.
we're in there.
I thought
Okay,
yeah,
so it's
we're
right
in
around there.
I didn't like that, but I thought Juice was great.
Juice is good.
Juice
yeah.
is
Juice is good.
Yeah.
I have to watch that one again.
So he was,
that's
so he was acting and he was doing a lot.
He was,
He was all over the place, right?
fingers in all the pots.
So
Okay.
at this point, he's a bigger actor than rapper, right? 'Cause-
No.
I think
He was selling. He was selling millions.
He was selling.
He was selling millions, and he was also just drifting into the acting world. Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Okay. So in November 30th, 1994, this is when everything went wrong. And this is called the Quad City shooting.
Okay.
I don't know if you know if you've heard of this, but essentially this is what kind of set everything in motion. East Coast, West Coast
Right.
situation, right? So what's strange about Tupac, and we're going to go through this a lot, but what's strange about it is he was always broke.
This is weird.
He's always broke.
So even when he's famous,
Even when you're rich, you're broke.
yeah,
He was broke. I mean, the record labels would give him a car and the watches and this, but he never really
Had like he was never like liquid.
he never had financial acumen. Like he was never really I mean,
but back
I would
then,
assume
it wasn't like it is now back then, right? Meaning now you sign, you might get, I don't know, maybe a few million. Like
No,
I
but
don't,
what
I don't even
happened-
know what you get.
no,
but like
you
back
get it-
then, you wouldn't get a few million just for signing.
Like
or
now, they just give you an advance, and they pretty much it's an advance against estimated record sales, and
There you
then
go, yeah.
and then they take the money back, and then they have it set up like, okay, we'll give you an advance, and then you'll get like X% after said money is recouped. And a lot of times, there's big contracts. Those guys won't read it. All they
Right.
see is the advance money. Fuck yeah! And they're like, cool, we'll advance you this, and then you get fucking 1%.
But
It's
we
like
also have to
everything.
mention, like back then, it was the whole gangster rap thing was going on,
Yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. And it wasn't everybody's buying gangster rap albums, like
Right.
they buy rap albums now.
yeah,
It's true.
yeah, it's true.
So it's not a lot of money going on. But go ahead.
Well, so November 30th, 1994, so he was in New York, and he was offered by a music manager named Jimmy Henchman. He offered...
You like make that up.
So
Jimmy
he
Henchman.
offered Tupac $7,000 to stop by a place called Quad Studios and record just a verse to be on a track for Little Sean. Right?
See,
So he was
that's
like,
what I'm talking about. Like
$7,000.
nowadays, I heard. I think
They're
it was
like
like
100 G's for that.
no, I heard what's his name, Snoop. He was saying $250,000 just for a verse.
Wow. Crazy.
Fuck
And
you.
every-
Shut up, Snoop.
Crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
crazy.
So like that's the difference. That's what
Yeah.
I was talking about.
Well, but apparently, so he was unsure if he should do it, but he was, shit, I need the money.
It's like, damn, 7 G's, bro.
Yeah,
Woo!
so because what happened is, and we'll go into it in a little bit, but he was being charged for sexual assault. And so he had lawyer fees at this time. Yeah, he had legal fees, and apparently he just didn't have a lot of cash.
Yeah.
And so he was, I'm getting offered $7,000.
It's like, yeah,
let's go just to do one track.
Another couple weeks on the retainer.
Yes, exactly. So it was in Times Square, but he agreed to do it. He needed the cash. So he arrived with Stretch, which is one of his homies. And in the lobby, he saw a guy, and he later talks about this guy, and he says, most black men always recognize him or say hello either out of jealousy or out of admiration. But this guy didn't say anything to him. He just tipped his cap down, and he just didn't look at him. And he was wearing camo.
Oh, this is what's his name?
So he walked in. So he walked into the lobby, and near the elevator, they were robbed and beaten and then shot. He was shot like 4 times, and per the reports, he took the elevator up to the top floor. And he was bleeding.
Oh, shit.
And he opened the top floor, and there was Biggie and Puff Daddy. And he just walked in, and he sat down on the couch, and he smoked a cigarette.
What a fucking legend!
And then they called an ambulance.
What a fucking badass! He's like, give me a cigarette, bitch.
Yeah.
A Newport.
I know.
Now, but what sucks? The problem with the situation is, Tupac then thought it was because Biggie and Puff were there.
Yeah.
Right.
So he thinks that...
Wasn't he going to record for them or with them?
No.
Oh.
Totally coincidence.
Oh, okay.
They're in the same building.
Right. So then, of course, he's thinking, like, why are these fuckers
fucking
here?
guys have, like, trapped me, basically.
I know. They were, you gotta get rid of the competition.
Yeah.
So who shot him?
Yeah. So, okay. So I wrote this note down. So in 2011... it was reported that Dexter Isaac, which was an imprisoned murderer serving a life sentence, confessed that he was one of the men who shot and robbed Tupac at Quad Studios.
Oh, one of the guys.
And he was ordered from Jimmy Henchman, which is the guy who was paying him the $7,000 to be there in the first place.
Damn.
Oh, gotcha.
He said Henchman hired me to rob Tupac. He gave me $2,500 plus all the jewelry that I took, except for one ring, which he took for himself.
So it was a setup. Same, like that's what Tupac said from the start, for forever.
I wonder who the other guy was, like fucking Chug.
No, he didn't.
There's the suspicion. So he gets taken to the hospital, right? And he has surgery. And then instead of staying there at the hospital, he decides to leave the hospital. And the next day is the jury's verdict of his sexual assault case.
Oh, so he's like,
so he shows up, and there's video. He shows up in a wheelchair and an arm brace.
Yep.
And like he's like shot, etc.
It's like,
right?
Even has a bandage on his head.
This is
right.
a bandage turban.
So he shows up the next day at the thing, and he's ready to get the verdict. Now we're going to talk about the sexual assault case.
All right.
Ready?
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So so what are we doing?
Because there's a lot. Jada Pinkett Smith.
No, it's a lot of things. So 1993. So 1 year earlier.
Okay.
1 year earlier, right? There's somebody named Ayanna Jackson. Okay. And she was 19 years old. And she admitted that before this night, she was having sex with Tupac.
Oh, so okay. So they're already
boning.
They're already doing it.
Yeah, they're boning.
And she's admitted consensual sex has happened.
So now November 19th comes along. He's staying at a hotel, and he invites her over, and she comes in, and she claims that he said, "These are my boys. I like you so much, I decided to share you with them. He had his hand in my braids, and I can't physically move." And then Shakur reportedly left the room, and then Jackson then said she was raped by these 3 other guys.
Oh.
Oof.
That's
the worst.
I know. I don't know how I can't be like, she's lying.
Yeah. So then she says, Tupac was lying on the couch. In my mind was thinking, this motherfucker just raped me, and he's lying up there like a king, acting as if nothing happened. So I began crying hysterically and shouting, how could you do this to me? I came here to see you. I can't believe you did this to me. She later confirmed, though, that she didn't have sex with Tupac that night, but she was raped by the other people.
Okay.
But she's accusing him.
No.
She's accusing him of setting it up.
Set it up.
Right,
almost
right,
like almost like he's like the trafficker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. So
that's super fucked up.
So he gets shot. Remember, he got shot at Quad City.
Karma.
He wheels in, and then he's there for the verdict.
What's the verdict?
Okay.
Guilty AF.
He got he was convicted, and he got 18 months to 4 years. That's what the judge said. The judge said it was an act of brutal violence against a helpless woman, and Tupac was out of line and anyways,
And setting it up.
and
some shit.
inhumane, and set the bail at $3 million.
That's
Damn.
It's a hefty bail, especially in back
So
in
he
those
had,
days.
he had to go to jail for how long?
18 months to 4.5 years. That was the conviction.
Yeah.
18 to 4.5. Yeah. Now, Tupac said the following. He said, "How am I going to force a woman to do something to me that we've already done consensually?
Well, you didn't force her to do it with you.
If the case is about me and this girl, then we wouldn't be here. I'm guilty of a lot of things, but I'm not guilty of rape. Just because I don't want to be with a girl doesn't mean they can accuse me of rape.
Oh, see
It's
what
a
he's doing?
crime for that girl to turn this into a rape charge. In the report, it says I was in concert. Where are those guys? I don't want to go to jail for something they did."
See, that's what you're saying. Is I didn't rape her.
So,
I didn't rape
what's
her at
crazy
all.
though, none of them got convicted.
Did
Only he.
Yeah, that's weird.
So that
Well, they
part
want to make an
sucks.
example out of him, I
And he's
guess.
the star. That I
So
mean,
that
you
part
think they would
sucks.
go
Right.
after those guys?
Yeah. So he goes to jail. So there you go. So
let's
Tupac
homie.
goes to jail. So then,
correctional facility.
Yeah.
I remember that from one of his songs. I don't know.
So then he's in jail, and when he was in jail, LL Cool J released a song called "I Shot Ya." Biggie released a song called "Who Shot Ya."
Yeah, I remember that song. Yeah.
And Tupac's fucking getting livid.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You fucking shot me.
And first of all, like, LL
Yes.
Cool J, just stop.
I know,
That's
like,
cool.
who are
Shut
you?
up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's getting madder and madder and madder in prison, basically.
And all he has
like
is his
his
own
friends.
thoughts.
He thought his friends were conspiring to
Matter
kill him.
and paranoid.
Yes, exactly. While he was in prison, he released "Dear Mama."
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Classic.
And that was a #1 release.
Yep.
That was his first #1. Yeah. That was during his prison stay too.
So that was
Mama was a black queen, mo. Always was a crack queen, mo.
that sounded kind of like a country song to me.
Mama.
What are you talking about? That sounded great.
Eric just morphed into
So that was the album "Me Against the World." That's the one that got released.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so now we fast forward a little bit to August 95. He's still in prison. He's still in jail. So at the 95 Source Awards, this is when Suge Knight won.
Oh my God.
He won for the Above the Rim soundtrack.
Suge Knight's the worst human being who's ever
And he
lived.
goes up on stage, and you can watch it on YouTube. He goes up on stage, and then he disses, and this is what they all say, is that he disses Puffy in the speech. He says, "Hey, all of you artists, if you guys want to get your albums produced without me dancing in your videos,"
Oh yeah.
alluding to
To
P.
Puffy,
Diddy,
yeah.
then come over to Death Row. And then apparently, like, per the people in the crowd, including Snoop Dogg, etc., it was palpable. It was like it was West Coast, East Coast starting to get like,
also,
fuck you,
Suge Knight is
like
the
things are
great-
getting
the greatest
weird. Yes.
antagonist person who's ever lived. He just wants to start shit with everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, a couple weeks later, a Death Row employee is shot, in Atlanta. This is just added notes of things are fucking wild. Like things are getting
Things
like,
are
you know what I
popping
mean?
off.
Like
It's the
it's
Wild
getting fucking
West.
crazy. Yeah. So come September, Tupac is desperate to get out of jail.
I would be too.
He's desperate to get out of jail. He's done. He doesn't want to be in jail anymore.
How long has he been in there?
18 to 4.5
6
years.
months. About 6 months.
Damn.
About 6 to 7 months.
Dude, 6 months in prison, I would have already jumped off.
Just like hung myself. Fuck that shit.
Out of here.
So
Come
but
after me.
he couldn't figure out how to pay the $3 million bail.
Well, yeah, because you'd have to put up a bond, but you need at least 10%.
Something like crazy. Yeah.
It's like it's a lot of money.
So guess who showed up as like a white knight? Suge Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Of course,
Suge Knight,
as a
As a
Suge
Suge
Knight.
Knight.
Let's just shut up as a Suge Knight.
So there's this famous story where that Tupac sold his soul to Suge Knight on a napkin. So he basically he's like,
sign
what
a
do I need
contract.
to do to get out of jail?
He's like,
And
I'll
then
tell you
Suge
what
said,
you need to do.
you need to join Death Row, and you need to give me X amount of albums.
Right.
And apparently, I mean, this is all theory.
All
and
hearsay.
yeah, apparently it was all on a napkin.
He's like, just burn that napkin. I didn't
Sign it.
agree anything.
Now,
Or
I did research this a little bit extra, and I did find the original document that Tupac signed.
Oh,
It's
really?
4
Napkin?
pages. Yeah, it's not a napkin.
It's on
No,
eBay right now.
but if you remember, we were talking about he was originally with Interscope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Interscope made them put it in some form of legible contract, and it was 4 pages long, and it's the signature of Tupac, Suge, and Interscope.
Oh, so it's pretty much
Saying it's transferring over to Death Row, right? Anyways, side note, that contract sold for $15,000 like 2 years ago.
Really?
An auction.
Yeah.
Yeah, as an auction item. It is known as Tupac's bail agreement. And then 8 days later, after signing that, he was released from prison.
Damn, that was fast. Suge works fast.
Yeah.
He probably killed the commissioner.
So he gets out of prison. December of 95, Snoop Dogg is in New York.
Oh, yeah.
People get shot, fired on, nobody gets hurt, but basically the message was sending to West Coast rappers, don't fucking come to New York. Like it's getting West Coast, East Coast becomes a thing. Like it's actually a thing. Yeah. Okay, February of 96, Tupac releases All Eyes on Me. Sells
Best
half
album of all
sells
time.
half
Literally
1,000,000 records
so good.
in
like a
7 days.
Yeah, instantly.
7 days, yeah. 96 Soul Train Awards. You know, he wins big. The next few months are just the West Coast, East Coast thing just keeps going. And it keeps boiling up and fuck you and like West Side and like that whole like,
And they're
you know,
dissing each
things.
other in songs now,
Yes,
so it's
in
like
songs
it's there
and,
forever.
you know,
It's so funny. It's just over nothing. We're both in America, but you're on the other side of it. Fuck you. Piece of shit.
And then he also released the song of, you know, Biggie's wife.
Faith?
No.
Or Faith?
Eve.
Yeah, it's
Eve.
like,
It's Eve,
No,
right?
he's like,
No.
you say you're being a player, but I fucked your wife.
I forget her name, but yeah.
And it says something
Eve,
and then fuck
no?
for life.
Fucking Faith something. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Eve Faith. Eve.
So in June of 96, Jay-Z drops Reasonable Doubt, which features Biggie, and he says some shit about having twins with his wife, and it's called Tupac's. Anyways, they keep going and going and going, and you know, so it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse. In August of 96, Tupac records his album called The Don Kilimani, The 7-Day Theory.
It's Illuminati.
Illuminati, there you go.
Yeah.
Under Machiavelli, you know, that's the first sign of Machiavelli and that whole thing.
Another great album.
There you
Really
go,
good.
right?
Yeah, really good.
Okay, so then we fast forward, and here we are. So September 7th, 1996.
Illuminati.
So Tupac Shakur decided to go to Las Vegas. He had a business partner
First
named...
mistake.
Yeah, so he had a business partner named Tracy Robinson, and it was and also he was friends with Mike Tyson. So Mike Tyson was going to fight Bruce Sheldon.
And Mike Tyson was super rich. At
Yeah,
time.
this is Mike Tyson's peak.
Prime.
Right?
Yeah.
Super peak, right? So it's at the MGM Grand. So Mike Tyson wins in 40 seconds. Like it was one of those like you remember those fights that Mike Tyson would
First
do,
round
like,
KO.
It's just a quick aside. Too.
everybody-
It's like, the way things are nowadays are so different. You know, you have a year to train. Mike Tyson, I think he fought when he was in the championship zone. I think he fought like 9 fights in a year.
Yeah.
It was insane. It was every other month. He's like in a fucking championship fight and knocks the dudes out. All right, another 2 months. You have another fight.
Yeah, because
So anyways, continue.
all he needed was 40 seconds. So he's like,
Yeah,
I'm still in shape. Give me another one in 2 months. I'm still in shape.
So fast.
Okay, so to put this in a little bit into context, so Suge Knight created these chains, and they were Death Row record chains, and they were massive gold chains.
Yeah.
You remember they were huge, right?
Yeah, with the
They're
the
gold.
logo.
Yeah. And I think they were $10,000 each, and he only gave them to made men. If you that's an analogy.
It's like, everything is like Goodfellas.
Yeah, like it's a made man. You get him, you're in. Yeah. Okay, so a little bit before, there was one of the crew of Death Row where a guy named Orlando Anderson tried to rob this chain from the guy. Okay?
Selling a pawn
So
shop.
that was a little bit before, and it was at a mall, and anyways, he tried to rob it. That's what happened. Okay, good. So now the Tyson fight happens. Tupac is pumped. And the reason we know that is because he's on camera.
Yeah.
There's actual video. If you wanted to look it up on YouTube, there's video of Tupac pumped about Tyson winning.
Vibing.
Like, he's walking the casino floor like fucking
Just vibing.
Just yes, like pumped out of his mind, right? Even Suge can't even
McGregor
keep
walk.
up with him. Yeah. yes, exactly. Okay, so they get to the lobby, and this is all caught on camera. You can watch it. It's all caught on camera. And somebody says something that says, "Hey, there's that motherfucker Orlando Anderson over there."
Oh, let's go
Where's he at?
So kill him right
So
now.
Tupac and
Fuck the
Sugar pumped,
consequences.
and they have a posse of like 6 people.
They're trying to steal our chains.
Yeah.
When I saw it on the when I saw that video, it looked like 60 people.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Looks
It
like a
did.
mob.
I know.
They're also,
Imagine
they're
you
also
were-
in a casino.
Yeah.
Though, so
No, I know. But
So they
I'm just saying,
go,
it
and
looked like
Tupac
it.
throws the first.
of course.
Like he comes
course.
and he bum rushes Orlando Anderson, and he starts beating on him. Then in the video, it looks like Suge is kicking him in the face too.
Probably. There's a 100%
It
chance.
looks like it.
Suge Knight is stopping.
But later on, we'll talk about that because it's important.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, good. So he beats the shit out of him. They're like, yeah, we fucking like
Death row, bitch.
West Side,
Yeah,
all,
West
all that
Side.
shit, right? Okay, good. So that happens. It's all caught on video. Nobody knows it's caught on video. Okay. So then he goes back to his
Gentlemen, it's a casino.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Yeah.
idiots.
Fucking
then-
eye in the sky catches
I know,
everything.
everything.
So then Tupac, I mean, even at that time, the eye
I
in the sky
know,
was catching
seriously,
everything.
everything.
So Tupac then goes to his hotel room, and at that time, he was actually Tupac's actually dating Kadada Jones, which I don't know if you guys know that, but Kadada Jones is the daughter of Quincy Jones.
Right.
Yes.
Also the sister of Rashida
Rashida.
Jones, who's in Parks and Recs.
Yeah,
and a bunch of other
big.
stuff.
Yeah, she's
Yeah, a
also
bunch
in
of other stuff.
she's in I Love You Man.
Yeah.
She's
Well,
Yep,
Paul,
yep.
plus Paul
She's-
Rudd's
she's-
wife. Yeah.
She's semi-famous. I would give
Yeah,
her.
she's
I would
pretty
give her
famous,
famous. Yeah. Okay, so he goes to the hotel. Now, here's the strange part. Ever since he was shot at Quad City, the Quad City studio,
Oh yeah.
he was wearing bulletproof vests.
Smart. Very smart.
Everywhere he went, he was wearing a bulletproof vest. For some
I
reason,
would too.
he left that hotel room, and his bulletproof vest was on the couch.
Conspiracy.
He didn't put it on.
Suge was like, "Don't wear it, trust me, Billy."
Yeah.
And he told the Kadida, he said, "Hey, I'm gonna go to this club. It's Suge's club. It's called Club 669, and it's kind of 662. Sorry, and it's like a charity thing. And we're gonna just roll up. And you stay here. You don't go anywhere. You stay here."
Yeah, I don't need you at the club with me,
Yeah.
girl. You stop. You've been crushing my vibe.
Additionally, what's weird is his bodyguard. He said, "Hey, you take her car, and I'm gonna roll with Suge. Don't drive me."
So he's just
That's
like
weird.
he's just violating all the normal
All the
actions.
rules, like all the things
I don't
that you
need.
put
I don't
in
need no
place.
bulletproof vest. I don't need my own
Yes,
car.
everything that you put in place as a protection
Against
protocol, you've broken.
He's like, no, I may bring my wallet.
Yeah. So then him and Suge headed to the Death Row nightclub called 662. They went in the black BMW 750, but they were also part of a larger convoy. So they had 6 cars and they were, whatever.
Yeah, they're always rolling with like
yeah.
the whole shenanigans amount of people.
Okay, so at 11 p.m., Tupac and Knight were stopped by Las Vegas police officers who were on the bikes. The bike,
Pull over!
the bike patrol.
Pull over!
Yeah, and they were, "Hey, your stereo is too loud, and you don't have license plates."
And there's nobody driving.
Yeah.
What's
So they opened the trunk. The police were in Suge's trunk, so he just never put them on his car.
What the fuck?
For whatever reason, I guess he was just
It's
not
the
trying to get it.
sketchiest thing ever. I don't even plug
Yeah.
license.
Anyway, so they released them, or they let them go without a citation or anything. So 10 minutes later, while they were stopped at a red light at the intersection of East Flamingo and the Covell Lane in front of the Maxim Hotel, a vehicle pulled up with 2 women on their left side. Tupac was talking to them through the window.
Hey, showed it.
And it
me
was
holla
like,
at
"Tupac,
you."
I love you, Tupac.
I know that's why he's like, stay at the hotel, baby.
Yeah. I love you, Tupac. And then he's like, "Hey, come over to Club 662." And he invited them.
Let's get around.
And
It's instantly.
Yeah, and they've gone.
Come into the car
Yeah.
with us right now.
And they've done interviews where they were, he was, "Hey, come over, come to Club 662, right?" A couple minutes later, a white 4-door Cadillac pulled up to Suge Knight's right side. So here's Suge and here's Tupac, and the car pulls up right here.
Suge's driving.
Yeah, Suge's driving. And there's a great photo because those girls took a photo. So the last photo of Tupac is literally moments before he gets shot.
Wow.
So the shooter, seated at the back of the Cadillac, rolled down the window and rapidly fired shots from a Smith & Wesson Glock 22.
All right.
Tupac was hit 4 times.
22.
So Tupac was hit 4 times, twice in the chest, once in the arm, and once in the thigh. One of the bullets went into Tupac's right lung, and Suge was hit with a fragment in his head.
Oh.
Maybe that's when he went like fucking super crazy.
So then Suge basically floored it, did a U-turn, crashed into a pole.
Damn.
Like
Almost
it was like
made it smooth.
It was about a half mile. Yeah. So I mean a little bit. He made it a little bit, right? So despite the fact that Suge apparently got shot in the head, he had a flat tire at this point because he went over the curb. He was able to drive.
Where they got shot, or the tire got shot. I don't know.
We don't know.
Of information.
We don't
and
know.
the tire's flat.
Yeah, we don't know. He was able to drive Tupac and himself half a mile from the site to Las Vegas Boulevard, right? Then those same people on the bikes were the first on the scene, like the cops on the bikes.
Fucking in on it.
He was then taken to the hospital, heavily sedated, but reports say that he was alive, saying, like, help me, I can't breathe.
Oh, because his lung.
I can't breathe and I'm still alive. So he was taken into the emergency room, heavily sedated. He was put on life support machines and was put into a medically induced coma after he kept trying to get out. All right?
Damn.
Out of the bed, whatever.
That was probably that the medically induced coma probably did him in.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. So then...
I love that he's still scrapping. Like, let me out the fuck out.
Yeah, seriously.
So then his girlfriend came, she came, and per her reports, she played him Don McLean's Vincent on a CD player next to him, and he woke up.
What medically induced coma? Jesus, music transcends.
He moaned a bit. You know, Suge was released the next day, but he wouldn't speak to anybody. He wouldn't tell him what was happening. So by then, Friday happened. So days went by. And he had multiple surgeries. And at first, the first couple of days, it was he's a 50-50 chance of living. He's going to be fine. He's going to do well. You know what I mean? All right. Homie's been shot before.
Exactly. People were, he's been through this before. They're hopeful.
Yeah. But Friday, September 13th, he died of respiratory failure because of the lung. So they removed the lung in the next surgery because it was internal bleeding, you know. Anyway, so he was pronounced dead at 4:00 on that day. Now, the officer that came and was the first one on the scene said the following in an interview. And he said,
I got his autograph before he died. It's up on eBay.
Yeah, his name was Chris Carroll. And he said that at first he was struggling and then eventually got to I'm at peace and I'm ready to go kind of thing. Just like that, he went from fighting
struggling. You mean like resisting him, or
just resisting the pain and the dying and the you know what I mean, like that kind of thing. To he went from fighting it to I can't do it anymore. And when he made that transition, he looked at me and he's looking right in my eyes, and that's when I looked at him and I said one more time, "Who shot you?" And he looked at me and he took a deep breath and he got the words out and he opened his mouth and I thought he was going to cooperate. But what he said was, fuck you.
I know, snitch. Who shot? Fuck you. I love this story. And then he looked me dead in his eye. And it's like so serious. Oh my God. And we had a moment. Our souls were connected. And he was like, fuck you, cop up, bitch.
Tupac.
Fuck the police.
Like, what a story of Tupac, right? Fuck you.
Tupac to the end.
Yeah.
To the end.
And that's what happened.
That's what we got for you guys tonight.
Unfortunately, that's the end of episode number 1 of Tupac Shakur.
Yeah, we like to do these endings on like the lowest possible note. Just drive you into the ground. I'm like, see you next week.
No, but that's what happened with Tupac. And next week we're going to talk about all the things that happened afterwards. The investigation, Detective Poole. Is he in Cuba? Is he still alive?
Is he
where is he?
Is he part of the machine?
Yes.
His consciousness is transcended into the multiverse.
That's right. So thanks a bunch. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Next week, tune in.
Don't miss it. Don't miss it.
Hey, nighty night.
I love it. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the show. If you want to reach out to us, please email us at info@theconspiracypodcast.com. You can check us out on Instagram at A Conspiracy Podcast. Also, don't forget to subscribe. You can catch a new podcast almost every week. Just hit the little subscribe button at the top. It's a plus sign. We love show ideas, corrections, hate mail. Thanks a bunch.